Welcome to this instructional class on how to use the Soroban, or Japanese abacus. My name is Jaime Garcia Serrano, known as the Human Calculator, and today I bring you a unique and educational experience to learn about one of the oldest and most effective mathematical tools in the world. This is what I learned to use since I was 8 years old in my hometown, Malaga, Colombia. It has been my support for performing calculations at the speed of a calculator and achieving the world records that I hold. The Soroban is a traditional Japanese calculator that has stood the test of time and is still widely used in mathematics education in Japan. And in other Eastern countries, that's why they are simply the ones who get the best math scores worldwide. It is an effective tool for improving concentration, calculation speed, and problem-solving skills in people of all ages. Using the Soroban requires a focused mindset, where the beats are manipulated imaginatively with precise movements of the index finger and thumb, just like Alexia does. This session will be fun and educational, so stay tuned. And get ready to learn about one of the oldest and most valuable mathematical tools in the world. Let's get started. This is the unit counter. The top part, the upper bit, has a value of 5, and the ones below are worth 1. And here, as you can see, is the number 0, because there are no bits in that compartment. 1, the number 2. Well, before we continue, you work with your hands. The right hand on the units and the left hand on the tens. It's best if you have the Soroban in your hands so you can practice. You need to use your hands. The bit worth 5 is moved with your index finger. And the ones at the bottom, which are worth 1, are moved with your thumb. If you want to write the number 0, it's already there. Now for 1, we move it with the thumb and say or make this movement. That's the number 1. The 2, we raise another bit. For the number 3 beats. Now, you probably already know how to make the number 4, which would be to raise the next one, making 4. Now, the hardest thing is that they have to get used to the fact that the one above has a value of 5. There, it represents the number 5. If it's the number 6, we activate one more. 5 plus 1 is 6. For 7, we raise another one for 7. For 8, one more. And 9 is when all the bits are activated in the compartment in that section. The big secret is that when you see the 9, you should already register it in your mind and start getting familiar with it. There, it counts as 0. The number 1. Now, the number 2. Now we have to represent the number 3. You do this, just like I'm doing here with my hand. The thumb with the ones below. Imaginarily, this is when you already have it
It's already seen in your mind, memorized. And this is the units column. For the number 3, we make that movement. On the 4th, we go up. Now for the number 5, we lower the 4 and now lower the 1 that represents 5. We do this. For the number 6, we move another beat up. Let's review. The number 7, the number 8, and now for the number 9, they're all up. So be sure to remember that. Let's continue. What number would this be here? Read it. The number 4. So please start visualizing it in your mind, because in my case, I have a lot of experience and I have it memorized with many columns. What number could this be? Very good. It's 1. And here, what number do you think it is? It's the number 8, because the top is worth 5 and the bottom 3, 5 and 3, make 8. Here, what number does it represent? None, because there isn't a single bead, which means 0. What number could it be? Right? It's the number 7. And here, what number does it show? 3. Read this number to me. 9, remember that when they're all active, it always means 9, because 5 and 4 make 9. What number is it? 5. Because I insist, many people make a mistake and think it's 1. No, there are 4 more inside that one. So there are 5. What number could this be? 6. Because 5 and 1 make 6. What numbers does it represent? 2, because there are 2 beads. Here, the number 4. Now, tell me what number it is. Yes, it represents 1. This was the first calculator or computer that humans invented. And you can do any operation with it, but you have to master the basics come first. We are in the first column. I insist that this is the units column. Then we will move on to tens, hundreds. You can even work with millions. This one has 10 columns. That means the maximum is 9,999,000,000,000, 999,000,000, 999,000, 999,000, which you represent with the empty 0. What number would this be? The number 8. Let's see. What number is this? Nothing? No, it would be 0 because there aren't any beads. Here? Good. Go ahead and write it down. The number 3. That's how you describe. Now, how do you describe or what number does it represent? The counter, the number 9. Here, very good, because that one is worth 5. Keep in mind that the top one has 4 pushed in on that side. 5 beads are pushed in there. The number 6. What number is this here? 2. So remember that you have to practice with these two fingers. The thumb is for the ones that are worth 1, and the index finger is for the ones that are worth 0. You have to move the one that's worth 5, the one on top. If they say 3 and we're going to add 5, then we make this movement, and that's it. 5. And read how much we got. 8, because 3 plus 5 is 8. Here we have 8. And now let's go ahead and subtract 2. So we carefully take away 2, and as a result, we ultimately end up with 6. Now 6 plus 3. We raise the one that's worth 3. Look, I have parents who tell me they have children who are 4 and 5 years old, and they already master the Soroban perfectly. And they already know how to add and subtract at 4 and 5 years old through this system. And we see that 6 plus 3 equals 9. If we have 9 and we're going to subtract 4, then we lower 4 beads. And we get 5. The one with a value of 5 is left. If we have 5 and we're going to add 2, then we make this movement, right? You erase it. I insist, keep visualizing it in your mind. You have to memorize it, and you'll see that it will become easier for you. And 5 plus 2 is, read what it says there. That's how the number 7 is described. 7 plus 2. So we raise the 2 lower beads, and that represents the number 9. If we have 9 and we're going to subtract 3, then we remove 3. And that gives us this. Remember, it's okay, or you read it as 6 just as it is. You just have to look at the beats. That's all. If we have 6 and we're going to add 2, then we add 2 lower beads. And we look at what that represents. Very good. It's an 8. Why? Because 6 plus 2 equals 8. 8. Now we're going to take away or subtract 5. So we remove the one that's worth 5, the one on the top part, and we do that. And how much do we have left there? 3. 8 minus 5 equals 3. It does, at this moment, the number 2 is represented there. And if we're going to add another 2, then we make that movement. And that gives us 4. There are 4 beats, and 2 plus 2 equals 4. 4 plus 5, so we lower the one that represents the number 5. And what does that give us? The counter, the number 9, because when they're all down, it's the number 9. And 4 plus 5 equals 9. 9 minus 3. So now, at this particular point in the calculation, we carefully remove 3 beads from the abacus. And that gives us 6. Now, 6 plus, I'm going to take a little sip of water. Plus 1. So raise 1 bead. And what does that represent? 7. Because 5 and 2 make 7. There they are, the number 7. If we have 7 and now we're going to subtract 5, which bead do we remove? The one that's worth 5. And what's left? 2. 7 minus 5, 2. If we have 2 beads and we're going to add one more, then we raise another bead. And that now represents the number 3. 3 plus 1. So we raise one more bead. Now, if you read there, that's the number 4. 4 minus 4. So we remove all 4 and we get nothing. We're left with 0. If we have 0 and we're going to add 8, then we lower the one that's worth 5 and raise 3 more, right? We do this. 5 and 3 equals 8. 8 minus 2. We remove 2 beads. I hope that by now you've understood. If you haven't understood, I invite you to start over until it's really clear, especially with young children. Equals 6. 6 plus 1. So we raise 1 bead. And we read that this represents the number 7 on the abacus. 7 plus 2. So we raise the 2 that are below. 7 and 2. 9. 9 minus 6. We remove the one that's worth 5 and 1 more, right? So that makes 6. That is minus 5 minus 1. And that gives us 3. It shows that 9 minus 6 equals 3. 3 plus 5. We lower the one that's worth 5. And what does that represent? Yes, it's 8. Because 5 and 3 more beads make 8. 8 minus 2. So we remove 2 beads. And that gives us the number 6. I insist, keep memorizing the numbers, how they are represented. Visualize them in your mind. 6 minus 5. So we remove the one that represents 5 and we're left with 1. 1 plus 7. We lower the one that's worth 5 and 2 more, right? 5 and 2 more. And that gives us 8. 8 plus 1. So we move up the ones we have left there. And remember that when they're all up, that's 9. Picture that in your mind. Practice. If we have 9
And now we're going to subtract 7. Then you remove the one worth 5 and 2 more. And that gives us 2. 2 plus 1, 7. We lower the one worth 5 and move up 2, right? We do that. And that gives us 9. 9. And now we're going to subtract 4. We take away the 4 and see what's left there. Yes, the one worth 5. So 9 minus 4 equals 5. See how entertaining it is? And it makes you think. Children who are usually distracted become attentive. So please start practicing with your children, with your friends, with your family members. And if you want, you can also share this video so that not only your friends can learn, but also in schools give it to the head of mathematics so that they can share it with the other teachers. And they can also give it to the students. And you'll see that math will be seen in a different way, much, much simpler. And above all, this tool is for developing the brain. 5 minus 4. Since this one has 5 beads and we take away 4, how many beads are left? Just 1. So 5 minus 4 equals 1. 1 plus 7. So we add the one that's worth 5 and 2 from the bottom. We do that. And what number does that represent? That's the number 8. You have to look at the beads and say the number, focus on them. You have 8 and you're going to subtract 3. So we take away 3 beads, and what does that represent? The number 5. If we have 5 and now we're going to subtract 3, so since there are 5 beads and we take away 3 beads, how many are left? Very good. We have 2 left. If we have 2 and we're going to add 7, then we lower the one that's worth 5 and 2 more. We do this, 5 and 2, 7. And what does that represent? Very good. The number 9. I insist that you need to focus on the beads. The number 9. And if we subtract 4 from 9, we remove the ones at the bottom. We do this, and how many do we have left? 5.